Oh God. Um, Hello, this is Blue Jam Tarot. Michael here. Um, I don't know whether I should be angry for this collective or not because you have driven me effectively to create a reading of an hour. And I've seen like the other readers like literally doing that on the channel. So it's kind of a funny thing here because I got carried away a bit. And when you create an hour for a pile, naturally you want to create an hour and extend it for the second and third pile. But it was a bit of a crazy experience, to be honest with you. Anyway, it was needed and therefore it got here. So yeah. Okay. I guess it was necessary for me to create an hour for a pile and then extend for the rest, and I think I'll just enjoy the moment. And yeah, for the pile selections in here, I will use perfumes, though I'm not here for advertising yet. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and just like vaguely describe them to you. Um, Yeah, it's gonna be pile number one with a Hello Kitty type of, perfume. Apparently the cap or the cap of the thing, or I don't know how to call it, how to say it, to name it. It's a blue Hello Kitty head. That's pretty random, but yeah, that's what I found. And literally for you to not call me out and not call me out, but to this is so funny. The funniest introduction of all the readings. For me to not feel like I have to spill the beans, okay? Just joking, but those are not my perfumes, okay? Those are my sisters. I borrowed them, okay? Because I've had questions on the channel like where am I getting all these accessories from? Yeah, they're not mine, okay? They're not mine, okay? We have the second pile with rectangle perfume. Okay, sounds pretty wrong to call it that way, but and pile number three with a pink um, round perfume. Okay, I've never had such a weird introduction in the reading. Yeah. By the way, I think that's pretty much all for the selections, selectors, whatever that is. I'm into one and two, and the stuff there is crazy. It's pretty specific, so if you resonate, it's the case. If not, then it's not for you. But what I wanted to say, because I've had a person, two, three more actually say that they enjoy the introductions, so go for the description and the comment section for the actual timestamps. I wanted to say that I'm not like gonna turn a blind eye on the comment section, or I haven't yet responded to comments. It just like so weird. Sometimes I'm just reading the comments and I'm like, this person is complimenting me, and I'm like feeling overwhelmed, and I'm like closing the app and like I'm thinking like, okay, how much procrastination this is gonna require, okay? This person is, I feel like they're waiting, or I've had some genuinely mind-blowing like comments there, and I was like, my imagination is not that high in the sky to actually, pick such good things about myself, and I'm like genuinely surprised when I read them. But if you are the person to, if you're the person to think that I commented 3 months ago and I haven't had a response, I'm literally sorry. Because I'm getting there, like slow but steady, I'm getting there, okay? About the topic, this is going to be an exciting one because of the subsections of it. Um, it's gonna be, you probably saw in the description, this is urgent messages you have to know about your job. Oh my God, I forgot to cover that in the very beginning. Um, Anyways, it's a dense and intense one, so don't be surprised if you come across very intricate and unexpected information. The situation with the personal readings is not very clear. I have a pretty crowded schedule, and I'm literally trying my best to integrate snippets and various fragments of your request into the subdivisions of my readings, and I will be implementing that because my first plan didn't quite work well. I decided to create shorts on the individual requests, and I was like, yeah, it's a good idea, but I'm barely managing to post. So yeah, it's like, when will I have the time for the personal requests, and more so even the personal readings, okay? Though, like, y'all pray for me because I really want to read for you. Like, I really, really want to read for you, like, personal reading stuff material. Sometimes channeling all that stuff, it's making me feel a bit, not even dizzy, but confused and exhausted. But it's like genuinely worth it. Plus, the fact that I want to expand also on the, this is a diary or what? Like, this is an intro for the reading, okay? I'm like literally oversharing in here, okay? Um, it occurred to me that I'm able to read people. And I was like, maybe I should integrate that, and people would feel also relieved to not only have a tarot reading, but like a sort of a counseling moment of sorts. But why am I mentioning this? Okay. Pray for me that I have time, like pray to God that I have time for personal reads, because I really want to expand on that option, and I'm like guilty at like when I'm like reading the comments and saying stuff like, when will you open the actual personal readings? And I'm like, yeah, good questions. I literally have no idea. Um, yeah. I hope you're satisfied. That was a bit of a fragment from like my life and what I'm going through. Um, go for it. Go for the timestamps. I will try to survive through pile number 3 as well, because pile number 1 and 2 literally got the divine like ghost and spirit out of me. But it was a gratifying experience to uncover all of that stuff. So if you are intrigued, I better hope you are intrigued, because I'm like really trying my best in here. Uh, yeah. I hope you have a great experience. I was having some sort of mixed feelings there, because it's not a only positive thing, it's a quite realistic and honest approach in the reading. My first time doing a 9-minute duration introduction, but I hope it's worth it. I hope you will appreciate. See you in your individual piles. Okay, pile number 1, welcome to your reading. The first card in here, or let's say the first couple of cards, will talk about the actual atmosphere, or let's say the core message that you have to know about this topic. I will also go into perhaps identification, or how you'll recognize yourself into the reading, but that will come also gradually. So yeah, no worries for that one. Once again, the question was what you should urgently know about your work. Sorry for the delay a bit for some reason for this pile, but yeah. Splitting the message in here in the main topic, the work environment, colleagues, boss, work dynamics, and mechanics, and also performance, or let's say promotion material and stuff like that, career advancement. Okay. I already feel like this one is gonna be quite peculiar and intense, but hear me out. Um, okay, we have in here the central card, the first one being the Nine of Wands. Urgent messages in that regard say that not everything is what it seems. That's the first one. And also, keep up with the boundaries, or and someone sees you or perceives you to be quite threatening to their status quo. Okay, pile number one, don't be scared. This is kind of peculiar to say the least, but we have in here this kind of strange person being depicted in the Nine of Wands. It makes me feel like this is a schemy person. This is not someone you can trust, and this is definitely not someone somehow like coming through as with good intentions. Okay. Um, I don't necessarily feel like this is the case of a person who has bad intentions, but I do not see them as being they're not bad, but they are like manipulative or oriented towards something in particular. Yeah, and the mercantile, that's the word for it, or that's the description in here. I'm not sure if this is boss energy or it's just someone who's scheming and they like this makes me feel like for pile number one, this person is not what they seem, and they feel very threatened by your energy, by your presence. Like, what you should urgently know is that this person has their eyes on you. Uh, there is something very honorable, wonderfully honorable, and highly esteemed about this pile that I want to compliment you on, and this person doesn't like it. Okay. My God, this is like this reading comes like a warning of sorts to be on guard, to be prepared, and to be like guard your honor. Like that's the message in here that's coming through, and don't let that person like slither, or I don't know how to explain it. Like don't let this person come too close, or do not allow their tactics or manipulation to mm, somehow walk by you or make its way, because I can feel this person has a quite a great degree of like distance or separation right now that they try to somehow bridge. I'm not sure why, and but they have something in mind and they are not what they seem. They are not who they seem, and they want something from your energy. The wonderful thing in here I want to compliment you on is the fact that this presence from pile number one feels like someone who's very powerful, and this person will try their best but will fail. Okay. I almost had this like deep, like heartbeat. I don't know how to explain it, but it makes me feel like there will be situations where this person is gonna come close or almost too close, but they're gonna be swiftly somehow like booted, or I don't know how to say, like just exorcised from your presence. Okay, that's like a know-it-all person. That's like a person who wants to know everything and who seemingly wants to show the world that they're very smart and stuff. Your energy is much more quiet but much more noble and much more, it's just giving highly esteemed, and everybody knows that at the workplace. Like you have a wonderful reputation in here, whether it be that it's linked to your personality or it's linked to who you are in the workplace and your ethic or your work ethic or what it is that you're doing. I sense a powerful respect that's being brought to you from the people around you. And this person is like, my God, what are they doing here? Like, that's the question in the reading, you know? Okay, so I think I get it now. We have in here the Page of Wands and the Three of Cups. I want you to I want you to understand in here in the reading that the person is going to pose as like a friend or someone you should trust. Like that's how that's the way in which they're gonna frame it. Also, it feels to me like this person says or gives off the energy of you should be friends with me, we should be friends or family, we should be like even like best friends or very close because this cooperation is gonna bring much value. This is a huge fat lie. Okay, this is a huge lie in here. um Not wanting to curse because this is gonna be a pain to edit, but I wanna say the deception in here is effing real, and it's not hilarious, it's shocking for me. I feel like your energy will never betray you, will never let you give in the trap, but the person is gonna try everything they can to be close to you so as to manipulate and exploit you in some way. Again, what's coming through this is not gonna work, and something about your energy is going to basically overthrow the this person. I feel like this is a balance being thwarted somehow, where this person is gonna fall of their own accord or of their own like stupidity in a way, because I can see in here a great deal of desperacy, and I want to say this person is somehow trying to, like, they've set their eyes on your honor and on your achievements, grace, or status, and they want to attach themselves, or it's like it's giving me an image when, you know, um, a person makes a recipe and they know like everything about the recipe, they like pour their soul and heart into it, and another person comes along and says like, this person is gonna make a great thing like with this recipe and I have to take credit for it. Okay, and the person is like, I want to mix something in so that I can say that I participated and actually it was my result and not theirs. The chariot in here tells me that there is a switch dynamic in here where the person took or is trying to take your spotlight. But that is not gonna necessarily happen because we have in here Dory in reverse. That would be also the Six of Swords. This tells me, because Dory is a very mercantile person, and because they're like very uh, money oriented, specifically because we have this card in reverse, there is going to be something that's almost going to be like taken, not like, hear me out, something is gonna be temporarily taken from you, but it's gonna be given back to you tenfold. I feel like some sort of plan or scheme coming from that person is gonna fail, because your presence will be greater in quality, or things will be much more apparent because people know you, because they know who you are. And some sort of reckoning is making me feel like they're going to be brought to justice, or this person is gonna be like not deported, how do they, like, fired or just like isolated in a way. Okay, I do see in here an imminent, like, not even punishment but retribution that's gonna come to them in a way. Okay, kind of strange, but yeah. Eight of Cups. There is a lot of entanglement in here, like, especially from this kind of representation. A lot of stuff that you know, a lot of stuff that you are very aware, like keenly, very sharp in the assessment of the situation. You're very aware of what's happening. It just like seems like, why is this person not sorted out? Like, and the truth in here will prevail, and your reputation will prevail as well. despite this person thinking that they've got everything under like control almost. The sun in reverse on their side along with Dory. Okay, this person is aiming for something and they're gonna be not only like losing that, but also losing a lot of good reputation that they almost like manipulatively or selectively built. But I wanna say in here one thing. Don't be afraid. Don't be don't show your true colors in a way, like don't show your true intentions or don't reveal yourself. That's gonna be the case because this person thinks that they've got it all and they've got it all sorted out on your account, and I want you to keep that safety. I want you to keep that false facade of they know it all, they know it, like they know the truth of the matter or something like this. Oh my god, this is so funny. Like they think they got the upper hand. Okay. No, I don't know if this is like, this feels to me like this is no regular worker. This either reminds me of a supervisor or a higher up or a boss in here, can be the case. But either way, this is coming off as a very manipulative person and someone who has no integrity, or someone who'd rather sacrifice their integrity for the sake of something they want to accomplish at all costs, and it's gonna be linked to you. Okay, the surprising truth in here that's like kind of scary and fascinating, but you don't have to be afraid of this because you're, I just feel like you're too honorable to be affected by this. Okay, whatever the case may be, do not believe it, or do not, you know, there will be almost like challenges or things thrown at you, but the ease that's coming through from your presence is gonna basically cancel out everything. It makes me say like truth will prevail, or the reality of what's happening, the honesty, or who you are will never gonna be questioned. Even if it could get questioned at some point, it will be, there will be a retribution, there will be a rebalancing situation that is gonna make you feel like, justice is being served. I was never to rush into this whole thing and to, call this person out. Those of you who feel themselves like really calling this person out, you could do that. But the overall message in here is saying like, keep your guard up and do your best to continue on with your good reputation, because you've already done it and you've done a great job in here. A huge compliment on that. And this person thinks that they're ahead of the game, where actually they're gonna fall behind. And it's gonna feel very heartbreaking for them because they thought that they are going to control everything. Yeah, that's kind of funny, but that's the case. What I can say about you, like this is the identification moment for your reading. You are a very, let's say, in contrast, in the energies of contrast in here, meaning that you are a very straightforward, honorable, well-mannered, and good-intentioned person. And you don't need to boast, you don't need to manipulate, you don't need to shout from the top of the building who you are. Your strength is more akin to the quiet water that shifts and sculpts, that which is that which it touches over time. You are akin to the wind that with persistence also is capable of sculpting anything it comes in contact with. And I want to say there is a huge value in here that's being brought to the workplace with pile number 1. I can see in here like the peace, the order, almost like equilibrium and harmony. That's not something you see every day, like just prosperous, harmonious, and peaceful in quality type of energy and flourishing, like people are on your side. I want you to know this, whether you're aware of this or not. There is a lot of proof in your favor and against this person. Like they in the workspace there is like a rumor, or there is like word circulating about the fact that this person is not a good person. Okay, Don't have to worry about this. You got this. You're protected. And it's not even about divine protection in here, which could be the case, very much so. It's just like the quality of this pile is just, you know, I don't know how to even, like, nobody would question the fire's ability to burn something, because this is fire, like, and everyone has common knowledge about this. Like, literally, that's like pile number one. Nobody questions, or nobody sees the point in questioning or getting in your way, because that's such a futile and such dishonor dishonored, like almost like intention, or just like, why would you say or do something bad to pile number one? People would say, and everybody just knows it. They look at you and say, like, this person, it's not even like they wouldn't hurt a fly. This is not doormat, this is not people pleaser or innocent, like to the point where they're incapable. No, I was talking about quiet power, and this like this aspect is enraging that person. Okay, it feels to me like they were desperate to create that circumstance for themselves, and they thought that the best way in which they're gonna be achieving that real quick is gonna be like the schemes, the manipulation, and the positioning themselves in such a light that they are controlling everything, literally giving me like, for some it's gonna be a boss. I will draw the cards on the boss thingy, but I will also say this feels like a manager, a higher up supervisor, or someone with a fair share of power in here. And it almost like, not, it doesn't bleed in, or it just like affects you. That person's power, willingly or not, has its limits, but it does affect you, and it can affect you sometimes, unfortunately, in a very real way. But I want to tell you something. There is nothing, and this goes beyond this person, there is nothing that is gonna be permitted in here that is gonna make you feel bad, or is gonna make you feel like you are raw and vulnerable. Everything is gonna be paid. Okay, every bad thing that's gonna be directed at you is gonna be repaid, and it's gonna be repaid over time and in a very bitter way for the people who have wronged you. Okay, that's the message I can say in here. For sure that you have a lot of people on your side, and people who are ready to speak up, like people who are not gonna let you down, or they're not gonna watch you suffer. Like, you can freely ask for help and they will deliver it. But above all, I want to say, you are like powerful, and you're so powerful. You're like all these people. Okay, like, you're like, if you would add all these people up and their power, and not like to compare in here, no, it's like you have that same intensity of confidence to defend yourself and to place the right things on the right spots, and this reading also comes as a confirmation that this person's reign is not gonna be like, this person's control is not gonna be forever. This person will burn out. This person will reach their like breaking point. Seven of Pentacles. This person will run out of luck at some point, or resource to manipulate any longer. Okay. Anyways, the overarching message in here, this person is gonna lose trust, this person is gonna lose credibility, this person is gonna lose a lot of like, in small increments, but over time, like losing small bits of reputation, losing small bits of money, losing small bits of credibility, losing trust, like over time. And I see all these bits like coming back to you. Okay, like this reading says, like, relax, like, just relax. This is not gonna be something to worry about, even if it could mean like at times that you should be on guard or something. But No harm is gonna come to you, pile number one. I can see that, and I can see for sure that everything is gonna be repaid. Okay, so I feel like pretty much we covered a lot in the introduction or the main course message in here. Let me check what else we have. Okay, we have work environment. Okay, for the work environment, you have Al-Haytham with the Nine of Pentacles. This environment is, I would say, kind of sneaky, secretive, silent. The environment in here is not one that you should basically like really express yourself much in, but the moments in which you did express, they were very honorable, so people got you. But in here I can say with Nine of Pentacles, people are watching, people are observing and almost like taking notes or mental notes, so to speak. A lot of observation is going on in here with this Nine of Pentacles. A lot of how is this person gonna react? How is this person gonna talk? Or how is this person gonna like, you know, show themselves today? What are they gonna say? Like a lot of stuff in here that's being shown in this card says that the work environment is very secretive, convoluted, and let's say like not as apparent and straightforward as ideally it would be. Ten of Swords, a lot of secrets, a lot of unknown drama that you don't know of, a lot of suffering, a lot of gossip, a lot of like secret stuff, secret like people being on edge or being on edge to quitting. The work environment, I would say, is not the best with the Ten of Swords in reverse because it seems like, you know, people are covering stuff up. It's like it's not the proper way to express, or it's not the proper way to call things out or to say the truth. Okay. We have in here also the Judgment. The attention in here on people and in general attention to detail and what everybody's saying, who says what, a lot of the stuff is going on in here. And a lot of hidden drama that you don't hear often or you don't really know of, but it's like petty and almost like gossipy a lot. The case in here for the work environment, it's quite intense, I would say. Okay, now we're gonna go into the colleagues. This is gonna be or feel at least very close to the message of the environment because we have in here links. Okay, the Hierophant in reverse, the Queen of Wands in the upright, and another card. Let's see what we have. Two of Cups. I'd be on guard as well. With colleagues in here, there is a strong female authoritative figure, where it could be that people in your workplace generally are very stubborn or, you know, in general have their own ways or have their own tactics and they are not very, eager to, work things together or stuff like that. Kind of strange, but that's what I can see. It could be that the Queen of Wands is a person of a leader type that unites everyone and everything together, despite everyone's differences and disagreements. But with the Hierophant in reverse, I feel in here a lot of animosity or even a desire for not like to not be controlled or to not be ruled by anyone. Like everybody in here is so stubborn. I feel like you are a pillar of justice and peace for a lot of people in this workplace. Your energy is so pure in this case. I wanna like point that out. It's pretty fascinating. Like it's this person I was referring to, by the way, is clingy to your energy. They want something from your energy. Okay, either you depend on them or something, but this person is keen on not letting you go or something like this. And you are like also a pillar of justice, as I said, but also respect, and people would come for you, like would come for help when they would be in need of your help or stuff like that. And yeah, I want to say the work environment and colleagues in here are very chaotic, okay? And you're the most clear aspect here, okay? I just don't like what I see because like the collective um, the colleagues. I was referring to the colleagues and the workplace. They are very separate, not very interested in making things work out together, not very united, not very like unsecretive, and also kind of like gossipy. And I have my own rules in life and I won't listen to you, that type of thing, kind of, I think, scary, if you think about it. But I want to say the grounded aspect in here for pile number one also is wonderful. And the contrast in here also, like, don't worry about this person, is the overarching theme. Like, it keeps on like repeating or wants me to say, like, don't worry, don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. This person is gonna get what they are what they're aiming for, and they're gonna pay for it. Okay. There will be a switch, there will be like a setup in here that seemingly will make you feel upset, or will make you feel like, I don't know if this is a win from my side. It is actually a win, but in the long term, you will feel like this is a short term like loss, or something like, this person proved themselves or stuff like that. No. Remember this reading, come back to this reading, and let me reiterate the fact that no matter the chaos, this person, the work environment, the clearest of all things, I see in here your presence. You have to rely on that. You have to remember that. You have to know that every ounce of honor is gonna be restored back to you. Every ounce of truth that should have been said and it was not said. Every ounce of justice that should have been served is gonna be served. It's gonna be served. Everything is coming back to you. Like, you don't have to worry about this. Not only this person is gonna be faced with this, consequences of their own behavior, they will fall off their own weight. Because of that, they will catch up with the thing that they were projecting towards you, and also they will have this lack of credibility or trust from a lot of people, and it will be genuinely heartbreaking for them. You will rise. I want to say that, and I will not get tired of saying that in the reading. You just have to wait. You know how they say, like, wait for the proper moment and situation, and things will turn in your favor big time. It's just like a period of just watch it. Like, watch it like a person would watch a drama or a TV series, like a very emotional and dramatic one that stirs you up, like stirs you up from the inside and wants you to scream. Like, I've seen this happen, and when you get invested in a movie, like, it tends to happen like this when you get even an emotional reaction. It says in here, like, be mindful, you are being watched. This is an opportunity for you to even more reveal who you are. And trust me, your esteemed nature is gonna be rewarded greatly. And it's gonna come from this person's defeat. I don't like saying that stuff, but yeah, it's kind of what I see. Because, it's kind of, I don't know, just reminds me of something, I guess. But let's go to the next part. Okay, the boss in here. Now, I don't know if who is this boss gonna be, who is this gonna be relating to or referring to, but let's see. Knight of Cups in the reverse. One of the 3, 4, 2, I don't know how many scenarios. The boss in here is someone, again, with an energy of not who they seem. They talk a lot, but they lie a lot. They could be silent, but this person is sneaky, or this person is not very okay, and that you wouldn't get along well with them. Okay, oh my god. Okay, something about this person is not truthful, or is not actually revealing who they are. Eight of Cups in reverse. This person is concealing or is creating a false idea of who they are. And you pick that up. You pick that up, and you understand that pretty well. Like, I wanna say pretty well, you know what I'm talking about. It must have been the case that you saw through this person. I cannot say you were quite delighted with what you saw, but you saw it, okay? Two of Pentacles. Yeah, this person seems to be Seven of Cups. This person seems to be going through a lot of turmoil, and they are masking it all in a way. Okay, that's what I can see. Like, I can see this person masking pain and masking and creating a whole facade over who they are and what they are and whatever the case may be. Four of Swords. Yeah. The boss in here is too concerned with themselves and too concerned with the image. I want to say that. I want to add that as well. Their relationship to you. Let's cover that and see what things will be showcased, where things will be going. Shinobu, okay, Six of Cups. This person would want to be friends, but they can't. They have admiration or some sort of sympathy, but it's very far-fetched and distant. This is the case in the reading when I say that this is not necessarily going to be the boss I was referring to in the first part of the reading, meaning that the person from pile number 1 I was referring to in the beginning is actually somebody else. Okay, this boss seems to not care as much. I can see them being detached or not even so like quite aware of what's going on. And they don't care. Like, I want to say, it makes me feel like they don't care as much, and very hollow cards, very like emptiness, hollow, void cards, and very busy cards on themselves and stuff. What do they think about you? Let's go and do that. Okay, they don't know you really well. Seven of Pentacles. They know that there's depth to you. They know that they haven't necessarily uncovered everything that's about you, and there is a lot of blank space in here when it comes to your perception, but they like what they see. And aside from, if they wouldn't have been as like busy or vain, it makes me feel like they would show more deliberate support or appreciation for who you are, because there is respect in here. There is a whole great deal of respect, okay, with the world, and a lot of like, this person looking at you and saying, like, Three of Cups. It's like this person looking at you and saying, they're worth something, they're very valuable. I can feel that, okay. The boss is really somehow even proud that there is someone like you in the workspace, but yeah, it's kind of like what's going on in here from the boss perspective. It's a distant sympathy. It's not a very close one, and I can't say it's a very like cozy or warm one. It's just like, I'm here, I'm there, like whatever. Sometimes I'm thinking about them, sometimes I really don't care at all. Like, that's the message I can channel. They just exist there. I'm just glad that they're working with us, but aside from that, like, I'm too busy. Like, who gives a f, That's the sort of attitude I'm seeing in here. This person seems to be like there when things are bubbling up, or when things are, um, when things concern, like when it's concerned about them. Okay, it's kind of, yeah, not very great, but I can see that. The most wonderful thing about this reading is the fact that your reputation is powerful, you are powerful, and your reputation is growing. Okay, despite the energies I was outlining in here, and there will be change that will like show you in the best of the ways, but I want to just say, keep on being who you are, because that's the most powerful thing that's being showcased in here. That's the most powerful encouragement I can give you. Where was I? Seem to be getting lost in this reading. Oh my god. Work mechanics and dynamics. My favorite one, I suppose. I'm just kidding. I'm not very excited about this. Oh my god, devil. The Fool in reverse. What else do you want to surprise me with? Six of Swords in reverse. Not only you see things through, you see people through, you see the dynamics, like you are a very aware person when it comes to what's going on. The dynamics in here are not very oriented towards the people and not very forgiving, let's say. Not very healthy. Okay. I feel like the work mechanics, dynamic stuff, it's really one thing, and the people that work there is completely another, and it's very draining. I want to say your energy levels, because of some sort of either practice or because like that's shining through who you are, you're the most like guarded, protected, and let's say energetic, or non-affected in a way, protected from the whole thing. But the dynamics, mechanics in here are not very, let's say, healthy. Okay, I'm just gonna say how it is. Six of Swords. It makes me feel like you have a lot of ideas or a lot of improvement ideas that would be great to listen and to implement, but makes me feel like you're not like, they say like not qualified, but this is not true because you're just too good, almost like too good for this role, or your ideas are too good for era in this workspace that is just not oriented towards its people. Unfortunately, that's what I can see. Nine of Swords in reverse. I will say it as it is. People don't care. Page of Pentacles. They say like this is the work, mechanics, dynamics. They say this is work and this is stressful. We know you have to deal with it. You have to accept it. You have to suck it up. Like that's the BS I'm seeing. Okay, that's coming from the culture of the workspace. Yeah, tough. Y'all, if you are living the job of your life, it could be the case for some of you. Maybe this doesn't affect you as much. Maybe you have such a powerful anchoring energy that you see it all for what it is, but it doesn't infringe upon your peace. But I want to say in here, it's a training. It's definitely a training, a karmic training in here. This is a chaotic thing. Okay. Is there something positive I'm like missing out on in here? I would cheer this person up with a message. Money. Knight of Swords also like verbal respect and stuff, but aside from that, there is not much in here. Like, I can see in here selective or temporary or almost seasonal appreciation. That's not enough. Your energy was much more pleasant to read in comparison to the workspace BS. Okay, promotion, performance, and career advancement. That's also gonna be interesting to cover. Let's see. Promotion, performance, career advancement. The Sun in reverse, the Two of Pentacles, the World, Seven of Cups. Y'all listen to me, I want to say this. It makes me feel like you are among the few who are gonna be recognized, but to be honest with you, you're gonna be far gone. Like it feels to me like you're gonna be far gone rather than to wait on this recognition. You are among the few with the Two of Pentacles in here who are being like seen as highly like capable and esteemed, speaking about performance and stuff, but it feels to me like either the company doesn't have the actual means to support you, or they have in this like trapped mechanics a very unhealthy thing. Okay, let's also check Two of Swords in reverse, Queen of Wands in reverse. Three of Wands in reverse. Oh, why so many cards in reverse? And the Emperor. There is a reward in here. There is like if you're looking for a message of advancement, whatever, it's it's here, okay? I wanna say it's here, but it's also kind of like saying you're just too much, like you're just too valuable to wait on this, okay? If you're wondering whether you should be moving on instead of waiting, like if you want to wait, if you're ready for this, you can wait, you're gonna be recognized. But I want to say for many of you, it's not worth waiting. It's worth moving on. It's worth trying to be open for the new things into your life, because this workplace seems like a temporary training of sorts. There is gonna be like nobody questions your performance. I want to say that, and I want you to sit with it. Nobody questions your performance because they have seen you, they know who you are, and they want you to be here. They want you to excel. You know, the actual thing that in here like scares me off a bit, it's the sun, the world in reverse, and the Seven of Cups. It makes me feel like you will have a situation where you'll be tired of waiting and you're gonna leave, or it makes me feel like, you know, the promotion is gonna not necessarily be worth it, or something like this. Okay, my god, I wanted a positive rating, and here's what I got. But I really hope it resonates at least. Okay. Now, because of the nature of what I have told you, I want to focus the reading on a more positive direction. You're gonna be loved, I want to say. From the perspective, I have this list I use in the moments when I don't have anything else to add, but this is straining in a way. Okay, comforting aspect. Okay, looking for the comforting aspect in the reading. You're gonna be loved. You're gonna be adored. You're gonna be respected. You're gonna be remembered for being a great person, and people are gonna tear up when they will think about the fact that they worked with you and you're no longer there. And you know, if anything happens and you go, or they go, whatever the case may be, people tearing up. Okay, I see that. I can say I see someone crying and saying it's not fair. It's not fair, it's not fair, it's not fair that, you know, we're left here without them, or it's not fair everything in here, and the person was the only fair thing that ever happened to us. And it makes me say, like, and here they are gone, like, for some reason. Either some of you are switching, or changing, or transitioning, or will be. Yeah, that's something interesting. Let me tell you one thing in here from the nourishing aspect is the fact that you will get something from this work that will be like a bonus or stuff, like you will benefit from it. But I see much more peace outside of this work, and you'll be blessed outside of your work in a way. Whereas the work also will provide a lot of the bonuses or benefits in here, but the rewards for the things that you went through will come also exterior, like from the exterior outside of the work sphere. I want you to understand that you are very powerful, very gifted. The revelatory or revelation in here for pile number one is going to be the fact that a lot of people don't deserve you. A lot of people do not get who you are. A lot of people don't deserve to have such a good person in the workspace, and for them to have such a behavior towards you. I'm like literally recording this in the nighttime. I would scream right now because that's how intense I can feel. Like, this is so unfair that this pile is being treated in the ways in which they were treated. But I can, because this is nighttime and I'm not a crazy person. So never doubt yourself. Never question who you are because of a circumstance or because of a petty, stupid person. Okay? Um, if anything, know that stars shine brighter in the night. This is your case, and you're not a star, you're a sun. Okay? You should be proud of that. And reveal, like that's the word I can use in here to clearly see the information. And when I say that, reveal, it tells me people are so aware of who you are. I'm like, oh my god, people are so aware of who you are. It makes me even like effing cry in here. Okay, they know who you are, they've seen who you are. They know you deserve better. They know that in this chaos, there was like a shining light. There was like a shining, warm ray of light. There is. Like that, like when I say reveal, like reveal yourself. Like that would be the equivalent or the energy I would call forth to show me the information. And the amount of exposure and like people feeling in their heart that you're a okay person is insane. I can see these people like making a road for you, like crafting or creating a road for you. Okay, let me focus. I know it's gonna be a bit weird, but yeah, I'm gonna still say it, like say the activation phrases. Okay, reveal. We have in here also from the boss energy. This person feels guilty when I say this word. This person feels guilty because they are feeling like they haven't been able to give you the best. They are feeling regretful that they didn't offer you the best treatment or the best circumstances. My god, I'm hoping this is not a foreshadowing of like a leave from your case, but this is so intense. Okay, and you're like a element in here that shouldn't, almost like shouldn't be, like in such a toxic world, in such a toxic circumstance. It almost feels like you are an error in the system. Like, why is this person here making us feel like we should be accountable for our actions, like literally? Okay. Sorry for the wait, I'm just scanning through the words and I'm looking for the best. Yeah, validating, that's the most popular one. I love giving it to the audience because it's the catalyst for a lot of like emotion and recognition. Okay, validation. This is a hard one because it's a bitter, bittersweet, actually, a bittersweet pill to swallow. You are inherently someone who awakens the truth of how things should be. The accountability, the justice, the order, the good person type of thing in here. And I'm not saying like good person and I don't want to be, you know, chastised for that. This is not that type of energy where this is a people pleaser. No, this is like, when deep down you know what's the right thing to do and you do it, and you're like the embodiment of that. So, and your cards are firing up, so to speak. Like the purest cards in here, the purest energies are coming from your side, and it's pretty fascinating to have that in the reading, and quite lucky as well. Lucky to be you. My god, it's one pile an hour, literally. What am I gonna do with the rest? 2 more hours? I don't feel like you necessarily need a lot of validation in this case because you know who you are, but keep on doing the good work, and know that people recognize you inside of their soul, heart, whatever it is. But I want to go ahead and say, like, never question. You're not questioning yourself in here as much, but it's like prevention measure of sorts. But um, from the neutralize aspect, negativity neutralizing, there is a lot of S, H, I, and being thrown at you. That's gonna be pretty hard to accept. Not even accept, but defend almost, or yourself from, or there's gonna be a lot of situations in which you will know it's not gonna be fair. There's gonna be a lot of sad moments when you will realize that you were with an open heart, and that, and it's not gonna be even like, I wanted to be a good person and they showed their back, like, they turned their back on me and stuff. It's gonna be a genuine disbelief that you wanted to build something with the person and they proved themselves unreliable or incapable of that. And this goes beyond work because this feels like a rare, very rare person. But the validation aspect in here for you and the negativity neutralizing one is gonna be, don't take it. Like, don't take anything that's being thrown at you in an unfair way. Like, you have a keen and intelligent perception to yourself that is gonna allow you to understand what's yours and not yours. Because we're not ideal, but in this case, like, please, for the sake of God, like, don't. You're too good for a lot of the people around you, okay, and their petty behavior. To sum this all up, I want to say be strong. This is a training. This is a period of, this is not even about work. I want to say, if any of you are, if you all are wondering if this is about work, this is not even closely or remotely about work. This is on the surface about work, but deep down, deeper, on a deeper level, this is like almost like a karmic walkthrough of sorts, and forging of souls, I can say, like forging and revealing your powers, who you are on a deeper level. That's what I can see. And don't be shy, don't be afraid to shine, because you're doing that pretty well. And step up. You deserve it. You deserve to shine. You deserve to make your words known, and people know it. People know it even at times better than you do. So yeah, thanks for watching. Hopefully I will somehow manage the 1 hour reads for the rest of the piles. Thanks for watching. Take care, pile number 1. If you liked this reading, if it resonated with you and your situation, don't forget to like, comment how this goes to you, for you, in what ways. Maybe not everything will resonate, and that's completely fine. Subscribe to my channel if you're not already, and make sure to check out the old videos as well on the channel for the donation links. And if you desire to donate and share your support in that way, you can always check the description section along with the comment section if the description somehow doesn't work. Thank you so much for watching, and it's an honor to read to you. It's a great honor. I wish I wouldn't be as tired at times as reading, like, because it does take its like emotional toll on me, but ultimately it's a bitter, like, sweet type of sensation. Because why it's bitter is because I can see the suffering. It's real. It's real, especially in those types of reads. I can see the whole, oh god, like the whole thing with the toxicity and the unconsciousness that, stirs things up and explodes into pain. And it's a great relief to know that there is like a warm thing, like a shining through moment of peace that's being channeled from pile number one into this whole chaos thingy. And I can say, be there for as long as you need to, and know that you're a stabilizing element. So that's something you should be proud of. I just want to say, like, for the love of God, don't take it close to you. You're too pure. You're too innocent. You're too clear for a world that's filled with blackness. Like, and this is not that it sounds so corny in a way, but I feel like you know what I'm referring to. It's just like too. This pile is too orderly. Like, this pile is too good. Like, this pile is too orderly in a world that's chaos, that's entirely like chaotic and stuff. And for me, when I read and I can look at this, I can say, when you see like a corner of Eden or a corner of heaven, whatever, and there is a thin line in here that defines this and a whole grade of chaos. And like, it's not necessarily hell, but it's a lot of unattended and not so orderly gardens and stuff, and a lot of wild animals running. You're just standing there like a statue, like, witnessing it all and saying, like, yeah, I should be here, I suppose. And there were a lot of intricate positive things, but unfortunately, or fortunately actually, they all stemmed from you. Like, I want to say, this is not the case where the circumstance somehow is like, prestigious or whatever. You brought the best in it, and you did your best in it, and you're still doing your best in that type of thing, department, whatever. And yeah, it makes me feel like the most of the positive things are like coming from, or the, spring of this is coming from you and not the other way around. So yeah, thanks for watching. That was a lengthy outro and maybe intro, but I hope you enjoyed. Thanks. Take care. I wanna hear from you in the future if you're open. Thank you for watching. Bye. Okay, now moving on to pile number two. Uh, I wasn't expecting I was going to create a 1 hour reading for just one pile, and yeah, naturally I would expect I would actually switch to that 1 hour as well to the next ones. But I hope I don't burn out. Okay, pile number two, your first card and the most urgent message you should know of. We have in here the Ten of Pentacles. Now, because this is a work context, um, this is going to be a bit, let's say, it will split as a message, but for some of you, you are at a work that will bring you a lot of money, or you can actually invest yourself in that kind of work because it will bring a lot of money, or it can be the case that some investment or some sort of thing, that you're going to do is going to generate a lot of income. The Ten of Pentacles is the ultimate, like, for me, the ultimate fulfillment when it comes to the financial, financial gratification or achieving that milestone. I feel like this is the case with a lot of, like, results in here that are being showcased. and roots in here will be the case because of this deck. But uh to be honest with you, the most urgent message in here is to tell you about the future outlook of your career. Now, the relevance of this message is going to refer, or is going to be particularly aimed at people who know that this is a like honorable place to work at, or it really aligns well with you. Those of you who are like, I'm not sure about this, it could bring a lot of money, but it could come at the cost of your well-being. So hear me out. This is a very positive message regardless of the case that you find yourself in. I'm a bit sore, I'm sorry, but kind of the reality of it. It tells me that something about your pile is going to aim at creating a lot of abundance, and particularly in here legacy. Though it makes me also feel like this is a deep rabbit hole, or this is the case where I tell you this will require a lot of commitment, and like how you'll recognize this is your work, you will not waver when it comes to the idea of you dedicating a lot of energy to it. So if you waver, it means that pretty much it's not the one, like it's not the work. But regardless of this is whether it's the case or not, it tells me that you're going to lay powerful foundations. Um, Urgent messages in here as well could be about the fact that you could be overlooking in and of itself the idea of like assessing you and the opportunities. Hear me out. This is not about opportunities. This is about you being the opportunity. Okay? This makes me also see that this card shows a tree with pentacles. So if there would be no tree in this context, these pentacles would be laying on the ground, and when a fruit lays on the ground, it becomes like spoiled or becomes like rotten. Okay? Something about you is very powerful. The urgent messages in here, regardless of your workspace, job, temporary or not, tells me that you are capable, or you're going to be sparking that like powerful shift, or you're going to settle those foundations for something huge. And this is like support. You're going to represent the support of this money. Almost it makes me feel like this is not the case where this pile is about gathering loads of money. It does make me feel like this pile is about managing and directing money. This card feels to me like this representation is like a bank, okay? Because this tree holds like all these like 10 pentacles in its branches, almost entangles them in there. So you are a retainer of wealth, and this is not about like physical money. This is a pile number 2 could be referred to as a sort of a person who plays the role of a money or abundance or value retainer. Okay, and you are like a metaphorical crossroads for money. And this is not like, how the bank works. It doesn't necessarily, like, I know we have in there like workers, like employees, we have in there people who come for like a consultation or some sort of like appointment and changes and stuff. In and of itself, the bank, you know doesn't make money. It stores money, it manages money. That's the same thing with pile number 2. You're not necessarily like that person who's gonna work and, await the paycheck, something like this. You're more so like, and I'm referring to either a future, something you know about, or something that's deeply planted inside of you, okay? Whether you're there or not, this is not gonna matter in this reading right now. I would like to just call things out for some reason. and it hugely revolves around your value, and your value is very intricate and deep and very specialized in a way. So this pile makes me feel like these are the people who are not meant to work a 9 to 5, but they are meant to manage the money. And this is not accountant information type of thing. This is about where should I place this money? Where should I invest it? Where should I like direct it at? What's a honorable or what's worthy investment? Okay. And your capacity to manage and entangle the money structures into your life are going to determine, oh my God, are going to determine how well you are going to, you know, end up with great sums of money in your bank account, something like this. My God, this is all over the place. I love this card. You know, I would like to actually drive the reading into a more self-expressive direction because it's not as, you know, serious and stuff. But you're a generator of sorts in here, and this is not like fiery explosive. We're not like exploding in here, okay? This is like earth energy with the pentacles. This is like nurturing that money, you know? Like someone hands you something and you make more out of it. And I feel like this is in your nature, or this is something that's linked to you, like transforming, transitioning, transferring value, you know? And it's a huge wake up call for some reason in this pile because I feel like this pile does not really understand, see, or comprehend that really well about themselves. It almost makes me feel like you are like, you know how they say they hold like, they look through the rose tinted glasses. In your case, that would be like the opposite. You could be watching or looking at yourself through the lens of a more mediocre, like tinted glasses, if I were to be really honest in this case. This is not true, okay? This is not who you are. And this is no motivational BS stuff. I don't like saying stuff like that. It's just like a remembrance of sorts, you know? This is quite peculiar because we have this in the reading, like especially in the job position situation type of thing. And um you have like interesting, like that's pretty fascinating to me. You think that you insert yourself, and this is not gonna be for everybody, but you insert yourself in situations and opportunities and you try to fit yourself as much as you can and show the best you can, but you don't understand that on a deeper level and on some like very intricate, like layered levels, you have their people and circumstances understanding that you are the big deal. Okay, this is not about like, oh my god, I should show the best sides of myself because I'm not sure if they're gonna be appreciating me. No, like this is the pile who is greater on many levels, you know. I'm sorry if this is not something that you see about yourself, and maybe this is not gonna be the case. Maybe you see yourself really clearly, but something urges me to say like, you are capable of holding much more than you actually realize. And this is not about overburden. This is not 10 of Wands energy where you're like burden. No, this is wealth, okay? This is wealth and abundance and value, okay? When I say these three, they could be interchangeable. So um, I always say like abundance could translate itself into relationships because that could be a source, you know. Belonging is a sort of ace in the hole, and it shows me that, you know, belonging can actually hugely impact your value transmission in this case. So yeah, the urgent message in here, something like revolves around your identity, something revolves around like you don't understand how much you can hold and not hold, like again, this is not heavy. You know, when you hold like a not a bill, when you hold like a great sum of money. It's not heavy. Like, the numbers are there, they're on the paper and stuff, but it's not heavy. Like, it's a pretty nice feeling. So this is not about working hard. This is about, like, almost it wants me to say, like, funny, smart, but logistics, okay? Like, positioning yourself in the best, easiest, enjoyable, passionate way possible for you, because that's what you're born to do, okay? This is beyond colleagues and stuff. I'm not sure like what in the world am I gonna read on that account, but because I have like parameters that I worked through with pile one, but let's see. Okay, that's upsetting for me personally. For you, I don't know. Like, I mean, I'm reading that stuff and it's upsetting. We have in here the Nine of Wands. We have in here the Nine of Pentacles. Don't be afraid. It's not as serious or stuff, but it's like, hear me out. We have the Wheel of Fortune. We have Nine of Wands, Nine of Pentacles. There is something about work relations or stuff. People who saw your value. Okay, let's like stop at that for a while. Wheel of Fortune in reverse. We have in here an urgent message to deliver. Some really understood. Like, this is not understood. This is like, I get it. I know it. Like, I know it in the depth of the details, as many as they are. Like, I know it. I see the full picture of this person. And they are really talented. Okay? That's the message in here. And they want to undermine and blind you in a way. Some people in here will have situations and people who will see that you are more than capable for something. They will be scared of letting you know or letting you understand that. But with the Nine of Pentacles, this representation tells me drainage, tells me sacrificing yourself and being better off without that stuff, like, big time, like, really, like, get rid of it type of energy, like, get rid of these people or get rid of that sort of. We have the wheel, like, Wheel of Fortune in reverse. People are very aware of the fact that you are talented, but the Nine of Wands shows me like there is like a fight for resource, a fight for how much they're going to be siding you in the idea that, they are scared. There is scared aspect. The Ten of Pentacles shows me that almost it gives me like an international or crossroads type of person where they're able to manage multiple things. But these people or the circumstances in here are trying to deliberately close that perception. And this reading came through like as not confirmation, but it's like, yeah, it could be a confirmation of your doubt. Like, what are these people doing? Okay, why am I feeling this way? But literally, with the Wheel of Fortune, I want to say this is giving me a very passionate, talented person. Like pile number two, meant for great things. Like, this is, of course, this will range in various forms in here. Like, someone is going to manifest themselves on a career level, someone financially, like tangibly, someone in popularity, for example, or being well known, or having a great reputation, or a mix of those. Really, like, but I have in here a powerful element of not only undermining, but somehow deliberately trying to weigh you down, put you down, or minimize you. Minimization. And also, I see in here people saying, like, go for that offer. Like, go for that offer. It's advantageous. I'm handing it to you. Don't forget it like that. I'm handing it to you. And it's a really estimable offer. Okay. The Hierophant in reverse, no, it's actually the Emperor, and the Lovers in reverse. There is a huge game in here of manipulation. It's weighing down on me, okay? I feel like this is the first time like I'm so like invested emotionally in this. Actually, no, I am invested in readings, but particularly for this case, I feel like the maximum is going there. Um The game in here relies on the making you feel oblivious about your value. Like, not let's not tell them everything. Let's not tell them how well they're at that thing. Let's not yap too much. Like that, they see that as yapping, yapping about your value. This is not yapping. I want to remind you of that. It's annoying to them. Okay, this is like huge potential, very promising, like pile number 2. By the way, if you resonate with one, go for it, because it almost felt like it was a similar, like it urged me almost to say one. Okay, that's interesting. And my God, like, and the abundance of how much people try to undermine you, like that's not normal. If anything, you should realize that this is quite threatening to them if they want to do that sort of thing. But you are in a situation where people distortedly reflect something of a base core message, something along the lines of, you are lucky that you're here. They don't deliberately say that, they don't deliberately want to show you that they would want to minimize you, but they do that with the words and the wording and the formulation of the sentences and the lies that they like speak. So that would be like, you know this is an honorable place to work at. This is such an opportunity. This is so you're lucky. Okay, you're super lucky to be here. And when a person is really qualified for that sort of thing, and you see the potential is there, whether they are qualified or not really doesn't matter, because if you see the person really fitting the role, and then here it's like they know everything about your value, but they want to keep it secret. Yeah, seems like we do not have the possibility to rely on people in general. Like, there is no honesty, or it's a whole game in here. I want to say, like, the workplace in here, whatever the case may be, holds a lot of secret. Yalan, also 10 of Wands, holds a lot of conspiracy, and unfortunately, a lot of not so favorable in your case, for your case, like conspiracy. This is not someone. Okay, oh my God. This is the lovers in reverse twice, and we have also Barbara in here from this deck. Uh, you're working with, I wanted to say cheaters for some reason, but all of this is weighing on you. That Ten of Pentacles. Like, I'm not gonna get tired. I think I will. I think I will at some point, but Diamond in the Rough. I think that someone is gonna make a compilation of how often I say that. Yeah, I hope I don't live up to see the whole thing, but um, value that's, and this is not the case, by the way, in which people do not see it. I've had this happened. I've had this happening on the channel, actually, on readings, in readings, actually, multiple times, and it was the case where the people were unable to see the value of the person because their profile was reflecting a different value set. In this case, it's much more different. It's also about not seeing, but this one is deliberate, and that's in and of itself the how it how grave this feels. Okay, like how um wrong, and how, like, this is a whole game where you could be the best, but people will downplay you. Okay, that's the unfortunate reality I can see in here, and a lot of double standards in here at the workplace. Or I don't know, like, tell me this is a workplace, tell me this is clients, I don't know what this is, but it's something that's deliberate in the ways in which it undermines and minimizes you in situations that they prove or deem will give them some sort of advantage or upper hand. and a lot of control, okay? You are a more free spirited or free flowy type of person, and abundance or value money and stuff. It should come with ease. In this case, like all these people, they try to profit and they try to place a filter, okay? The filter would be designed in this case in such a way that it filters the best attributes of yours to them in their direction, undermining you and not letting you see that the value that you provide, while filtering the bad things in your direction and undermining you, telling you like, shortcomings and stuff that, you're not ready for this or stuff like that, control. And it's, I don't want to, like, I don't even want to go there. uh the Emperor in reverse is also about the abuse of power. So I see a person above you in here, or this could be person, organization, group, people, circumstances, like deliberate, but this is people. Like, regardless of the position of what's going on in here, they have no honor. They have no. This is not even honor. It's like it feels laughable. The energy feels laughable. How these people would actually see honor? It's non-existent. Okay. Mm, you know how also it gives me the actual image of there is a tree, in this case literally the tree of the Ten of Pentacles in this representation. um it creates a shade. For example, it creates a huge area of like shadow, and in that shadow we have a lot of, like, let's say, plants that profit off of the shadow of the tree. And you are the tree. The plants would be the case with the people, circumstances, bosses, whatever the case may be, supervisor. And they say, like, they almost like take credit, like, look how beautiful we are, like, look how nice we grow in here. And no credit to the tree, you know taking advantage of that shade and like taking credit for everything. That's how it feels. And there is a lot of simplification in here that needs to be shown or revealed to pile number two. It's like the core truth of your value is pretty simple and is genius in that way. These people overly complicate the whole story, so that the more complicated it is, the best they are at inserting the manipulative, like, facts and arguments that they are capable to drive the situation in their favor. We have in here control freaks that have you in some sort of like relationship to them or stuff like that, almost as if universally you bring too much value and it's being taken for granted. Like, almost like this is the case where I see, for example, a person working in a workspace, being there and offering honest value, and they are not paid enough for it. And this is also business mentality, nothing personal type of mentality. These people don't even, like, there is no use in confronting them in this case, because these people would not react well. This is one. And two would be the case that it would literally create no change. I want to say these people are aiming for something that's gonna be theirs in a way, but it will come at a very huge, hefty price that they're going to ultimately regret, and they will think about the ways to absolve themselves of what they've done, or to find a way to redeem themselves for all of the things that they, like, for all of the heads that they walked on. That's the feeling. It's gonna be late, and you're gonna be far gone, by the way, like gone, and for something like greater or better or more aligned with who you are. Okay. This whole thing feels like a corset. Okay, we have Yoimiya in reverse, so this is a very, and we have also Three of Pentacles. uh Extroverted energy comes from this card. It makes me feel like this work or this situation is deliberately weaving a corset around you that's I would want to say even cruelty. Okay, that's like, and there is no attunement, there is no sorry, like there is no like regret or hesitation. Okay, there is use, there is exploitation in here. I do want to say that there are boundaries that are in place with this pile, and there are inexhaustible, like let's say, energy and resource points for you, that this is not gonna, this work job people are not gonna leave you with nothing. You will regenerate, and your capacity for regeneration and resilience are quite wonderful and powerful in this case. You will outlive them, like that's the feeling, okay? And something about the strategy of yours that you walk through in life, it's very cohesive and ecological in a way, and you will outlive with your results, you will outlive them, because their results and their strategies could be very efficient, but they are not morally right. And because of that, it will be a catalyst for their downfall in a very quick and burnout type of like story way. We have in here the lovers in reverse, and this representation like also shows me that this is about huge and quick results at the expense of the people around them. And this is quite strange how we find this person pile number 2 in this context, because the base core operations of like the operational like direction for pile number 2 is diametrally the opposite. Okay. And I see in here a lot of untapped like potential. In what way? I don't want to leave it vague. uh to be vague, this is like, you are meant to flourish. Okay. We have this also tree, like it shows me like in the 10 of Pentacles, like kind of a depressive tree, and we have a lot of water in here from the right side. It makes me say that you are meant to blossom. Like we have the pentacles in here, like the responsibilities, the stuff, like the abundance, but this is not all. Like the tree should also have leaves. In this case, it has cobwebs. It should have flowers. It should have fruits, you know? And the fruits, of course, are the pentacles. But I want to say that tree, you being the tree in here, deserves more, okay? I see the atmosphere and the whole background is barren and is depressive, okay? How this pile holds up and sticks through all of this, it's literally a mystery to me, but it doesn't quite look to me like as a very conducive thing to your well-being, okay? Not even gonna cover the fact that these people are not interested in bringing the best in you, but only the best so that they can, again, exploit it, okay? We also have the Nine of Swords. Yeah, I was asking this, like I was drawing the card when I was asking how you manage all of this. And this is the case where pile number 2 is keenly aware of what's going on, but they are somehow like not at the edge of it, or they are not yet done with the whole thing. You know, it's like there is protection in here. I want to clarify though in what way. The Sun in reverse. It makes me feel like this is almost like fated, or it's like an experienced Knave of Swords. Queen of Cups. Yeah, it's just like the same thing like pile number 1. This is a training or a transition period. It's almost as if you are meant to grow or learn something as a result of having this experience, and it's like nothing personal, and it's like nothing to be like to cling to. Yeah. It's a bit mind-blowing to be, I'm not gonna lie. It's very much so similar to pile 1, but in the story or in the content of it, it shows me that there is going to be justice. Knight of Pentacles. And the justice in and of itself is going to be the ways in which there will be differences between your abundance and theirs. So not only this workplace or people there are going to reach a point where they are going to reach milestones and results, but they're going to be exhaustible. You know how you exploit a mine and you understand that you cannot exploit it infinitely. It's exploitable. I don't know. I don't remember. Like I don't know how you say that in English, but it's exhaustible. Yeah, it's an exhaustible source of fuel. You are tapping into infinite sources of fuel and much more. Like and not even much more. This is honorable. Like in quality, better quality. Like better fueled like energy sources and a very ecological, not exploitative or manipulative or scarce. Okay, and you are meant to be happy at work. I don't see in here a lot of happiness. I see you being sheltered. I see you having a north star or a vision or a sort of thing that drives you forward, but money will come to you in an easy way, in a flowy emotional way. I'm looking at these cards. It shows me either a team or people you truly like trust and like your friends, like your this is no corporate, this is no like standard practice. This is a very like non-standard approach to making money. This is like, you know, trust being the foundation and then something that we work through together, and I trust you with my life. Like that's the sort of energy I'm seeing. And passionate, like in alignment with values. Like the current work, it's not, I'm not seeing it being aligned with your values. Okay, I see you somehow shining through and still sparking like, let's say, impossible or almost non-logical positive things into your workspace, meaning that you awaken people in a better quality of feeling, or you make them feel better, or you make them feel like maybe they should reconsider, you know. But the push in here from their side and what you're working through right now, it's not allowing you to fully penetrate or to fully like destroy that wrong order of things of how it went or how it goes through. Okay. That was pretty much a lot, and this is only the beginning. Okay, now let me go for the actual, yeah, let's go for the work environment, though I actually a bit covered that. Let's still go for it. Work environment. I feel like this is going to talk about the overall energy of the atmosphere there, but let's try. This is not good. Okay. We have the Fool in reverse, the Three of Swords, the Ten of Cups in reverse. This is not speaking about fulfillment, this is not speaking about compatibility, and this is blame shifting. We also have Bennett in here. It should have been the case that the work environment was, or it should have been cohesive, or should have been a foundation or a sort of linking element for the productivity. I see in here blame shifts, shifting like the blame, and a lot of like that person is accountable, that person did the wrong thing, that person is not doing the right thing. I also see in here incompetence. I'm not gonna lie, we have the Fool. It could be incompetence and blaming, and Ten of Cups shows me that people you could be working with could be actually not very interested in um, let's say a balanced, even, or fair interaction. Okay. Now, this could be this workspace, and the reason why you're here, it could have like a very valid reason, and it should be, or it's like a phase of sorts. I'm no like judge to when's the time to move on from it, but I did my job in the ways in which I exposed and revealed and outlined your worth, so I could give you a push or a sort of boost in here. But the work environment is quite toxic, I want to say. It's very dramatic. It could be with the Three of Swords. It could be using or manipulating like emotions in such a way, like for example someone becoming a victim, displaying themselves in the victim mode and then blaming the other person. Okay. um the only positive thing I can say in here from the atmosphere is the fact that they don't want it to be that way. I mean, genuinely they don't want to be like this, but they like succumbed to this in a way. So anyway, this is not very constructive. um let's go for, and I hope this resonates. And maybe you also you can have like, do we have a silver lining? Oh my god, I'm scared. A seven of swords. That's not a silver lining, I'm sorry. um Seven of swords, eight of wands. You have in here some great characters. It is just showing me that they are not developed. It makes me feel like almost these people are not necessarily bad, but they are not very mature as well. And they are good, like quality material in here to work with, but unfortunately the stress or the workspace brings the worst things in them, for now at least. Or you should know like what's the case, but colleagues, let's do a in-depth reading or cover on that account. It would show the character traits, the energy of the people you work with, and some other hints maybe. We have temperance. These are not very open people. They are like neutral, or they pretend to be like this at least. They don't want to reveal their cards. Knave of Cups. Falseness, I would be aware, or I would be careful of that, because it can be the case that your people could be at work, like they could be kind of false or pretending to be your friends, okay? Real careful with that one. What else can I take for this? Ten of Cups. Yeah, don't trust these people. I'm sorry. This is so strange. Like, I wasn't expecting I'm gonna be reading that kind of thing for pile number two, but I guess it's happening. I wanna be real. I don't wanna sugarcoat. So, um, I don't know. Like, y'all, look, like, we have the Ten of Cups in here. Like, we've had the opportunity of this card to show up, but it showed up both, like both cards showed in reverse. Like no matter how much I try to make something work or bring something good in here, it makes me feel like it's not necessarily gonna comply. Now the interesting part, this is going to, like, what else can I say about the work colleagues? They are not ready. They are not ready to step up in the quality in which you are able to step up or to show up in a relationship, you know. For example, sometimes if you cannot trust the person, you cannot advance in the quality of the relationship, and it remains there. Like it could literally remain there, like as a acquaintance or someone you know, or a job colleague or something like this. It's not the case that you could deepen the relationship, and even if you tried, these people would laugh. Knave of Cups shows like they would have a cynical or almost like, huh, this person really wants a relationship, like that's so pathetic, something like this, you know. And this is not true. Like I want to say you're just too you're just like too good for this. Like it kind of sounds cliche or I don't know, corny in a way, but you deserve better. Like that's what I'm trying to say. Okay. um I'm sorry this is the case. Like I genuinely tried to outline some positivity in here, but it seems like the more I try, the worse it gets. um Worse. Four of wands in reverse. There is appreciation in here. There is some people looking at you and saying like this person is worth it, you know. But the vast majority, and these people are like distant, I don't know, like I'm seeing them through like branches and stuff. Like these people are like, I don't know, buried somewhere. I don't know, like that's the feeling. And hmm, why this is so gloomy, I don't know. Don't even ask me. Let's go for the boss. I'm curious, like for this one, I'm quite curious because it's like the main dish, so to speak. Let's go to let's go for it. The moon in reverse. You have this person figured out. That's good. Ace of Pentacles. Three of Swords. There's someone in here. It could be multiple. It could be a supervisor, something like this. There is someone in here who really sees your value. Okay, that's wonderful. I love it. Something, something positive in here at least. Like yeah, I'm not wasting time on the negative stuff. And it's sometimes it's required. I should say that as well. The moon in reverse tells me that there is actually someone in here who sees your value with the Ace of Pentacles, and they want to invest it on, or they want to place you in the best circumstances. But the Three of Swords in here again. What am I doing in here? Like juggling with a Ten of Cups in reverse twice and the Three of Swords in upright twice. Like what's that? I'm sorry. Like do I have a reading or I don't know what. It's very peculiar. Like genuinely. I wasn't expecting I'm gonna read like stuff like that. But hmm, I suppose that's the reality of it. And I wanna say there is a deep here is a deep one, by the way. There is someone in here, it could be boss, it could be supervisor, it could be like a really esteemed person who sees your value and sees like the things that you are placed in, and they say like this is like such a shame, like this person deserves more, or this is such the state of affairs is like pretty like not good, like shameful, this person deserves better, and they wish they could retain you, or they wish they could give you something better. I wasn't expecting this is gonna be in the boss category, okay? Usually you see stuff that's more like dirty, let's say, or not necessarily like dirty, but not so great, in the boss section. But in here, there is a recognition of value that's coming from the Ace of Pentacles. The moon in reverse shows that the person is, even if you could pick up fights with that person, or you could be like in disagreements, or the style in which they do things, could lead to disappointments or sorrow or sadness, either in you or the person being shown with the Three of Swords, or a difference in the character. We again have the Five of Swords in reverse. Either this person is almost like forgiving you in a way, like forgiving you in which sense, like you could have disagreements and the person still tries to think the best like of you, and still tries to see the best in you, or wants to see the best in you. I want to say in here, there is, I don't know, this is very mixed. Four of Pentacles, yeah, the person really wants you to stay. Um, it's mixed of a message of sorts, Um, it's so mixed up, I don't know what even to say, because this is a general reading, but we have in here like a decent person, finally. I don't know, some of you, this could be a manager, this could be a boss, a supervisor. Usually, I don't see that kind of energy in the boss section, but I have in here a genuine wish to recognize and place you in the best scenario possible. A sort of sadness in here from the Three of Swords and how things are and how things and the affairs are going. A genuine desire to make up for it, or to like place you in like a better like position, or place you in a better situation. I want to say in here like the boss in here sees you as someone who's irreplaceable, or someone who they are not gonna meet every day, or this is like a one chance type of person, and it's not gonna be the case that the person is gonna be replaced so easily. Or this is talking about a sort of a perception that the person has, the boss has. This is above like energy. This is not this is not the best friend at work. This is not your bestie, by the way, because it's like quite similar. It's a higher up, and how higher up this could be, how high this person can go, this could range. But it's a person who sees, understands, and quite has a solid grasp over your value and who you are. This is no like and the person is not like, you know, overlooking you and stuff. It's quite rare to see that, especially having the moon in reverse in this context. It gave me an energy of the person really being beyond the drama or the stuff that I was just covering in the negativity and, you know, chaos I was seeing. So that's a very good sign, I want to say. um, I would even go ahead and say that you even have either one person or this boss or someone else completely who's like ready to step up for you, like say a word and like really call things out and really tell you the truth and be honest and authentic. And that's pretty rare. Perhaps that's in and of itself like the drop of good in a lot of like bad things sort of thing story. Can be the case, can very much so be the case. I want to say you haven't here someone who's like the way in which I see the reading and I saw your value, that's how the person or partially the person sees your value as well. So oh my god, this is so so many emotions in here from a reading. Four of Cups, yeah, the person is so afraid that you're going to leave, or the person thinks that you're not gonna stick around for long. Yeah. Kind of sad, by the way, but it's the truth of it. Work mechanics, dynamics, and function. That's gonna be the next section. I was inspired by the actual honesty and clearance I saw in here from the boss section. I hope I'm not mistaken, but and by the way, you should have some sort of awareness in here um, of what I was covering. Oh god, we have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse and the Ace of Wands in reverse and the Nine of Cups in reverse. Your results are filtered. No matter how good you are at what you do, no matter what the results say, the people control the results that you provide or they are giving you. What does that mean? It means that you could do something and it could be a mood swing and the person could find fault in what you do. Mechanics, dynamics do not show a very healthy approach and do not show a very honest assessment. It's like a selective, I want to pick that information up and I can. There is nothing you could do about it. Okay, that's literally the magician. Yeah, a lot of manipulation, Two of Wands, and selective praise or selective focus. And this is literally the case where they say in corporate, for example, in corporate, I don't know which is your case. Not every person who works hard is gonna be recognized, and more work. No, it's like a quick result or a quick workload that's being sorted through is going to be rewarded with more work. This is the case. This is no fair assessment over your work performance. I'm sorry, like that's what I see. And it's sad. The Wheel of Fortune, I want to say don't worry. Don't worry, you're not going to be almost wanted to say humiliated, or you're not going to be affected by this in a huge way. You are like protected in a way from that like dishonorable like situation where you like I want to say your worth and value will speak for itself. You don't need the results. You're just there, you know, you're just doing it and everyone knows like you're like investing yourself to the fullest. Like that's the feeling. An honest work I can say in here is the case. So yeah. Um, dynamics and mechanics show that the work in here could be manipulated, the results manipulated, also the work tasks could be given or delegated in a abusive way or not quite a correct way. So yeah. And this will be also relevant to the people, like this pile is honestly relevant to the people who work in like groups or something like a workspace who has elements of boss. I don't know how else this could resonate for you. Maybe it does, and I have no imagination right now to think about it. But some sort of I have to do this work is being present in pile number 2, where the person is like, I want to do something by myself, and you very much so can. Okay. Promotion, performance, and career advancement. I love this part because it will actually cover a more, let's say, conscious thing, or a more conscious approach or focus or lens in here on you, like a spotlight on you. That would be um, Seven of Pentacles. Promotion, performance, and career advancement. Okay. King of Pentacles, that's nice. And Page of Swords. We have some discrepancy in here. Something along the lines of being selective, or being very selective in the areas of efficiency that you show and invest your presence in, because you could do something of like a task that's, in your opinion, very like, you do it great and it has a good logic, but it's not gonna be appreciated. Okay, it's like you could do something right, it will take a lot of time, it's the logical thing and the right thing to sort it through, but this is not gonna be appreciated. Okay, it's like you have to literally, unfortunately, do what you're told, and like be very aware of the urgency of what they provide to you, and that's the sure way to not upset them, or the sure way to actually succeed at what you're trying to do in here. I want to say it's a promising thing, or your performance is very much so seen, valued, and understood. Yeah, we have Noel, so that's a very loyal, that's a very yeah, coming back together. Ten of Cups, finally in upright. Finally in upright. You have very good chances of survival and advancement and recognition in that situation, in that case. The only thing is, in here, it should be very smart, it should be very like selective again, and you could be cunning, you could be like applying that quality in that specific way. Okay, and you will succeed. So that's like, not, this is not about working hard, by the way, this is not about, this is selective. Okay, this is selective. I'm here, I'm there, but ultimately I am actually like, it does call you to not even like manipulate, but to direct your focus in some areas and leave some behind, unfortunately. But yeah, it makes me feel like it could even upset you in a way. But yeah, ultimately, Four of Wands again, and it's like making me feel like you are smart enough to make it work individually for you. Now the question is, will you go for it, because it could drain you emotionally. Okay. That was a heavy one. I wasn't expecting I'm gonna go through this, but it kind of was a bit like peculiar, just like one, but I love the depth, and I love the fact that I was able to read that kind of thing. The validation in here goes with pile number 1 again, similar message. Your work does not define and show who you are. Okay, your work is not capable of doing that. It's like your current work, it's not capable of reflecting your true qualities, and that means you're not gonna be here forever. Eventually there is going to be an outgrowing or changing or shifting, either the role or the whole thing, or there is gonna be a shift, and it's gonna be a beneficial, slow but steady, and a very peaceful one. At that, I want to say Four of Pentacles. And they will miss you. They will definitely have the element of that person shouldn't have been missed out on. Okay, that's pretty much the I do have the list I was using for the pile number 1. To validate your experience, I want to go ahead and say again, it's coming from the value. Your value is huge, and just because the circumstance does not reflect that value, it's like the same thing. Like you could have a seed of a very beautiful flower. If you don't place it in the right conditions, and if you blame the seed for the fact that it doesn't grow, where literally you are the culprit for not creating the proper conditions, you could be missing out on a beautiful flower simply because, it just won't grow. And it won't grow because this is not how it works. That's the same thing. Like pile number two, you're like the analogy of this seed and the flower in here. Like so many analogies of diamonds and gems and flowers and whatnot. Like I'm questioning my life decisions sometimes. um, you're gonna make it out of this, and in a very honorable way, in a very noble, and people will remember you. They will say like, this person is, and not even nice, not a doormat kind of nice, but I'm grateful I've known this person. um, there is regret in here coming from the workspace, from people. They have admiration of sorts, they have appreciation for you, but ultimately the trauma and the level that they are at, it's just too confusing to them, or too big to too big of a jump, for them to bridge the gap, unfortunately. um Advice. Three of Pentacles. Being diplomatic, diplomacy, being polite, being Knight of Cups, being people oriented for the right people and for the ones who will actually recognize you is the way out to survive. Okay, what to do to survive, Knight of Pentacles. Also, your work profile or your attitude towards the people, how likable you are and how good you're doing your job, and respecting everything and everyone in the process of it is gonna make you stand out. And it's a very good combination of energies I see in here. It's just, it makes me feel like this workspace or this job situation is not deserving of you. Okay. And the atmosphere of work, it should have supported you. Okay, or it is an indication that in the future your work environment or atmosphere is going to finally support you. Okay, it's going to be the element that keeps you going and you're going to feel inspired. I think that's pretty much all. Finally, I did 1 hour for pile number two. Now time for another hour for pile number three. I loved what I've seen. It's fascinating energy, and keep it up. It's like, not even keep it up, it's such a weird way to say it. It's just, it's inside of you. Just like make space, or make space for it to shine through more. That's the feeling. And yeah, I think that's pretty much all, pile number two. I hope you enjoyed your reading. If you did, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Comment below how it resonated for you and the intricacies I was covering in this reading. Make sure to leave the like, subscribe if you're not already, check out the old videos as well. And if you want to donate and you see that as a fit for my situation in here, you can go ahead and do that if you want. The link is in the comment section or the description section. If not, that's completely fine. I love all the ways in which you support me, even if that means only watching and even quitting at some point. That's completely fine. I want the reading to be authentic, and I want you to feel like it suits your needs and your questions and your situation. And if you feel like clicking off, that's also a sign for me to readjust and to work on the parameters. And I think that's all. Thanks for watching, and I hope to hear from you in the future. Bye. Okay, pile number three. Time to drain my soul away. Just kidding, it's not the case, really. Urgent messages about your job. The first card is going to be, again, the central card, part of the reading. It's gonna be a message pertaining to your job, and an urgent one at that. So yeah, we have the Nine of Pentacles in here. This is a very positive card, I want to say, in this case, because genuinely we have the message of someone, or actually more people understanding your status and really valuing you for the things that you're doing. Oh my god, the stuttering. It's like people understand that you are a worthy person and they really like the job that you're doing, or something along the lines of they like the work, but more so even the person, the who you really are beyond the work situation. So I want to go ahead and say that this is a very positive message. I feel like even this pile could be missing out on some unspoken compliments in here. That could be the case, and that you will actually hear them out finally. I feel like this person from pile number 3 is just like naturally glowing and naturally excelling at what they're doing, and you don't have like a very, let's say, serious attitude towards it. You're just doing it because that's your job, and you have a very easy, flowy, natural approach to work, and that is in and of itself also a kind of a secret to why things are going so well like for you, and how and why they're going like working and going in your favor. Three of Pentacles, huge value, huge value in here. I'm not sure if this is like, let's check. Hierophant. Okay, in reverse. There is also hesitation, just like with pile number 2, to fully reveal the extent of your value, but I want to say in here you have multiple people really happy for the results and for the fact that they have you there in the team. This pile will resonate with a work that is not ideal, but you're giving your best and you're more or less appreciated, at least in the attitude, or at least in the energy, or the, you know, aftermath of the things. They seem to be very aware of your value, and that, this is strongly the case. This pile is irreplaceable at work, because this is not, when I say work in this context, this is not just work. This is the atmosphere that you bring to the table. This is the attitude that you bring to the table, the ideas, the creativity, the interaction, and the likability, for example, and many, many more things I cannot count or mention or cover in here fully. But something tells me that there is a huge set in here that's playing wonderfully in your favor. Almost too good, almost too good to be true, but it's actually the case, because there is like someone in here like, hold up, like don't tell them everything. Like, don't tell them everything, okay? It's like, don't reveal or spill the beans, literally. It could be, though, the case that in your situation, you could be undervalued. You could be feeling undervalued. Like, you bring all of that, these people see that, but you understand, like, this is not perhaps my place to be at, That's the sort of energy I see lingering in here. And you do it because, and people think that you're doing it, you're doing it genuinely, but honestly, there is dissatisfaction in here at work from your side, or there is like, I was born for something bigger. Okay, it's like waking up in the morning thinking, what am I doing here? Like, I'm meant for something greater. Six of Wands. The thing is, the appreciation in here is for your character. The appreciation in here is also for who you are beyond your skill. This is obviously also a recognition of your skill, but a person could be skillful, but they could be bitter. They could be skillful, but also a horrible person. In this case, it's a blend of managing the flow of work with people. Okay. And I was born for something greater. I will cover that, because there is a lingering element in here saying like, wait for it, or don't think that you're gonna be here forever, but you're definitely leaving a very impactful radiance, or casting a very powerful radiance of change or impact or people being affected by you, by your presence, and it really benefits the work. It really benefits, like, really, like, again, I was mentioning perhaps either in one reading or the pile number one, salt, like the qualities of salt. Salt is like, the dish could be ideal, it could be great, it could be nice, but if it lacks salt, you're not going to be able to fully appreciate it at its core value. Literally the case with pile number three. Regardless of the status, who they are, where they're at, how good they're doing the job, you're the salt in here. And you're quite irreplaceable in here. Like, people say, or they look at you and say, like, that you don't see every day, and they are not gonna be easily, you won't see that person. You just cannot find the similar person like them if they go. And it could be the case that people fear it, like people anticipate or see themselves losing you. Yeah, this feels like a personal one, like a personal reading, or it's not even about work, but it's actually about work. People are very happy to see you at work. And the fact is, actually, the paradox in here is gonna cover the fact that they are very happy to see you at work. Is the question about that? No, it's the question actually, are you happy to see the workspace? Because that could be the where the things are going with the Nine of Swords. It's like, I'm not quite certain I should be here. You know what? Even that came through and said, you are meant to shine and excel at this space, just enough for you to shine this element through, but you will move on. Like, this is not, if you don't have the ability um, to see yourself in this workspace because it's not who you are, because you don't see yourself here, because it's not like ability, that's not the word, oh my god. If you don't see yourself in this, it's a huge sign that you're not going to be here forever, and you don't have to really fret about it, because I feel like there will be opportunities and offers from people who recognize or see you truly shine at this workspace right now. That's what I see. Genuinely, I feel like you will be also aiming for some great sums of money, either with this work or with work in general. This shows me the Ten of Pentacles, like the maximum, like, milestone. It could be an idea of a sum of money or something you have been trying to manifest, but it either is the case that this is not gonna necessarily like come from this work, but it could come from this work if you stay, but at some point it will no longer gratify you. Okay, I feel like you are meant to see more, or this is like a stepping stone of sorts, or this is like pile number three is too expensive for just this work, okay? Even though you excel at it pretty nicely, and there is like recognition in here, but there is also lack of emotional fulfillment for some reason, okay? And there is no need to, and this feels like very lavish, like it's a very luxurious, almost capricious pile for some reason. It's not bad. I do like people who are capricious because they know what they're gonna go for, that what they will accept or not, because capricious people are really a mark for some very good boundaries, and I really respect that. There is a line in things, so if you really go for the middle way, but especially because we haven't here this once card, you feel like a princess or prince at work, it's like people want to just be nice and polite with you. You have this very expansive and comfortable atmosphere, like, that you bring to the table, almost like, for me it's like about beauty. So I'm gonna go like in a direction. It's perhaps not the best representation of it, but you know the the most representative places of comfort, or let's say in that example of comfy, luxurious, or good looks, would be like walking into a salon, and everything that's being done in there is being done for the looks, for the aesthetics. Like, the aesthetics is going to be like aesthetically pleasing. Something about this pile is very, very aesthetically pleasing, and that reflects itself into the work processes and the ways in which you work with people. And that's like the same thing. It's like, yeah, not gonna be the example with a salon, but I needed that for a reference. It's like you bring that aesthetically pleasing atmosphere or energy or vibe or aura into the onto into the room or to the table, and it's really like creating, like you could be turning a mediocre work into something lavish. You could be turning something that's not so let's say in quality very nice. You could be turning it into a fairy tale, or you could be romanticizing it, but not romanticizing it in illusion, but romanticizing it almost in a real way. It's like I've seen this happen. You know how this is? Oh my God, so many examples. What am I doing? I've seen there is an art either in Chinese or Japanese culture. I forgot which one, but here in Moldova, when something breaks, we just call it broken and we throw it away. I mean, that's kind of funny. It's not the like best thing about, like, it's a side of our culture, really. It's funny and sometimes not, but really, we have great things to be represented by, but in this case, it's a more humorous aspect, kind of also sad. But I was surprised to find that either in Japanese or Chinese culture, they take a broken thing and they actually mend it and they create this whole work of art with a broken plate where they seal the actual crack with some sort of golden glue. And when you look at that thing, it's broken in a way, but it's even more beautiful at the end of the day. And I was thinking, like, this is genius. Like, this is literally how a painting is, like something blank, and the person just like creates a stroke of a paint or pigment or something, and because it's thought through, because it's intricate, you look at it and you understand that the person really invested their energy and their presence and their time there, and it becomes this unique thing that you don't see every day. So literally, a plate that has been made at a factory or something, by nature, by virtue of being cracked and mended, has even more value. So that's literally, I was giving you a sum, like a roundup, some summary of who you are. This is no broken plate. This is like a factor or an energy of creativity that you carry, that you transform and bring this intricate aesthetic element, or infuse a lot of things in your life with this aesthetically pleasing element. And it's much more beyond, like, I don't just have the necessary vocabulary or notions to speak about it, but it's very much so like noble, if there would be such a thing as a noble glamorizing or a noble glam. I can't believe I'm saying that, but it's definitely the case. And it feels to me like, at this workspace, you're like, you know what? I'm like tired of glamorizing this whole thing. Like, they don't deserve me. Where literally people could be like so happy to see you there, and like, yeah, we're waiting for another story, like we're waiting for another like episode of yours. And you're like, pay me more, okay? Oh God, it's like artist energy in here. Though, like I can see in here there is more like promotional or like marketing thing. It's like this is no pure artistry or necessarily like creative, like in the sense for the sake of it. No, this is placing the price on it. So definitely this pile is actually capricious and knows their value. So I really love that about you, because it's like, yeah, I'm not gonna be underpaid, okay? Pay me. Like I'm doing that stuff not for free. Like, and it's expensive, okay? And this, quite honestly, for me is the energy of transformation, okay? You have also some, like, the workspace, it's not uh worthy of you, and it's a bit not even exaggerated, but I want to exaggerate it in a way for the sake of you understanding the concept I'm trying to relay in here, convey. uh you have some sort of ramifications or access ways of your creativity or your being that should be utilized in greater ways, in more like appropriate ways for your true value. Okay, it feels to me like this work doesn't necessarily tune in or allows you to fully, it doesn't allow you to fully express in that talent. And it feels to me like this talent is huge and it's expensive, you know. It's the talent that creates something out of literally nothing. Like that's the power of it, you know. It's like the power of creation is being showcased in here. And people already know, they can feel it in your presence that you have it, and they are not like, they are content with the ways in which they appreciate you, but they are afraid that you're going to leave them at some point. Okay. uh Six of Wands, this is strongly relating to me that you should be like a creative director or someone who's leading creating creative stuff, or someone who's building things in that direction. And this is no, it's like a person who has to have a following. Okay, it's like you give the creative idea and it's being like given to the team in a way. So anyway, about like, this is about work, this is no career reading and directions, but it was something perhaps that you should know of or that you should hear about. So definitely a snippet in that direction from that area. But I want to go ahead and say the compliments in here for your presence at work, it's very like, you have to feel it in the air. It's like, you know how you just walk by or you just walk in like in the city, and then you come across a scent of a very expensive and like beautiful perfume. Like that's the feeling that people have of you at work. It could be outside and in general as well, but at work it feels to me like you are able to fully convey or blossom in that element, and people can recognize you for it. And this is not shallow stuff. This is not a person who's born for shallow surface level stuff. This is no cheap accessories or jewelry. You know, you're meant to have quality in your life, and for you to fully express that creativity, you have to be adorned with the proper conditions, and that's jewelry. That's uh, in various cases, of course, not jewelry. This now jewelry is not gonna be for everyone, but for some of you, this could be proper conditions, clothing style, and you have an innate quality or you're born for it, you know, for that expensive taste type of thing. But it feels to me like the current work is not reflecting the full on spectrum of that. Anyway, it could be something that you will shift from eventually, and it makes me feel like with the Hierophant as well, like you're overqualified, almost like you're doing a work right now that is developing something, whereas you have a huge talent for something that's entirely untapped, you know. It could be that you tap into two-thirds of your talent right now, or some of you one-third at your current workspace, where you're meant to, for example, fully express yourself at like three-thirds, you know, of your full potential. And right now, many of you are covering only one-third of it. And it's like calling you. You have this feeling perhaps of dissatisfaction, not in vain, because it's calling you for something greater or in the direction of something greater. Something about your current work or activity being very rigid, very almost dull or rudimentary in its quality, or very profit oriented, where it discards and disregards the people element, the interactions between people, or the actual quality or expertise that you have to bring to the table. And this doesn't have to mean that it's experience from some sort of activity. It could be, or doesn't mean this is studies, but you are like, you know how you could be born for something very specific, and in this case it's like expression in the creative expression, the full-on creative expression spectrum in here that's not being necessarily tapped into. Okay, very noble, very, like, let's say, concrete energy. This is no like this is not the type of person who has to work a mediocre job. No, under no circumstances, because it could be even draining you, even right now, the current job. It could be draining that creative element or aspect because you're not necessarily actively using it. Okay? And you have people who are very aware of who you are and they're envious. They're envious and they want to have what you have, and yeah, it's yeah, I guess I can't wait to go into the category of the workspace dynamics and people and colleagues and atmosphere and stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much what you have to know in here for this part. Um, I will go I will go ahead right now and check the subdivisions or subcategories for your reading, starting with okay, and it's loading. Wait. Starting with work environment. Yeah, I did that with the first and second pile, so normally I will do it with you as well. Okay, we have some very unexpected energies and quite different ones from pile 1 and 2 in the category of the environment. I have in here a sort of message of leeway for you to express yourself and to call forth some people from your current workspace that could be potential future colleagues. Not all of them, of course, but it makes me feel like actually the atmosphere in here calls upon some sort of like celebrity personality within you with the Queen of Cups, and it's like calling on to express yourself. But we also have in here Ten of Swords, which makes me say that, that's in and of itself the reason. Like, the workspace is not about you. It should be. Like, the next job or the next thing, it should be about you. And by being about you, it will bring abundance, more abundance to you. The atmosphere in here, quite strangely, is very work, 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 but it is actually a bit cohesive with your personality and your expression in it, because this reading is going to be about you, not about the people necessarily. But it makes me feel like we do have in here some sort of tangency with the revealing or training yourself to expose yourself. Kind of weird, because you know how it came to me. The information in here came to me in a quite funny or unexpected way. It's like when I see a lot, it's like the workspace you're at, I see people working, and then you like walk on a stage. That's why it felt so peculiar in a way. And you like the attention. It's for you, actually. It's naturally for you, that kind of attention that you get. And you have people watching. You're like the main attention thing, like spotlight. The spotlight is on you at work. You're very intriguing, like you attract a lot of attention at work. This is driving me towards like a more personalized reading towards the reputation and how people see you, but perhaps that's something very relevant to you, so therefore it showed itself into the reading. But we have Queen of Pentacles in here in reverse. It's pretty funny how actually everything I told you in here, it could be clearly relayed or retold by the people you work with, or they should be very aware of what I'm telling you right now in here. So more or less the dynamics of what I'm conveying in here could be very apparent to the people around you, and they know it. So yeah, it's like common knowledge that you're quite popular or you have the spotlight at work. Okay, now we are gonna go to the section, and I could go back to some elements. I just want to cover the big parts of each subsection, but we will go towards the colleagues part. Okay, something else I forgot to say actually. Nine of Cups, Seven of Wands, and the Star. I feel like this is strangely the case where literally this pile is going through a similar training like pile 1 and 2 with work, but for you it's learning to step up and to be confident about your self-expression. It could be literally about that, and it's not even like your place there to work necessarily, okay? It it does sound weird, not gonna lie, but we have in here a lot of exposure that you're gaining as a result of you being there in the spotlight. And I love it. I love it for you. I cannot even. It makes me say that eventually you will outgrow the mentality of having to work in and of itself, and you will understand the value of expressing yourself and who you are. And that's the big deal about it. Like, not having a paycheck necessarily, but it's as if you will discover an innate value that will generate a lot of income for you, and it will come not out of working hard like all these people do in the environment here with the Ten of Swords, but out of expressing and allowing this flow to not be interrupted by tasks and BS from that direction, because we have a lot of water in here. So it makes me say that your essence, it is carrying a hefty like price, a huge price to it, and people are ready to pay for it. So that's expression, that's bringing value, that's bridging that gap between you and people for the sake of gaining exposure in that value. So what does that mean? Also, you are meant to provide something to people emotionally. It could be emotionally or expressive or creative or a mix of those, and it will make them genuinely happy, and they are going to be ready to pay you a lot for it. And you are going to outgrow that mentality of having to work hard or having to work in general. For you, it's going to be a casual, almost a casual exposure to the world in a meaningful way. Nine of Pentacles, like what you speak or what you provide as a product or as a experience to people or as an emotion to people is going to be unique and creative, again, like artistry, artist energy, but also having the I know my price type of thing. It's just genuinely funny to me when I see the energy from the atmosphere in here. It's like everybody's there working, like coming with a like very rudimentary mentality of I have to work, I have to pay my bills, and you're like I'm coming here to work, but actually also to express myself and to, you know, test things out. Like I want to say, it makes me feel like you receive the workspace or in general like life and the world outside as opportunities to properly display your personality. And it's giving influencer type of energy, or yeah, the popular kid type of energy, the star. And the star, you know, it could also be like star typically also represents popularity or has a link to exposure or has a link to, you know, the star is very revealing in this case. So it's like being in the center of the attention. Okay. um, it could be also with judgment and strength. I was looking for the type of exposure and the quality of how you're going to be perceived in the spotlight. So judgment says that it's in a direct way, it's in a direct, meaningful, like the moments when you're given the word, the moments when you are asked to step forward, the moments when you like it or not, but the attention is on you. This is no passive. This is not a passive pile. It could be that the energy is maybe passive for a while, or you're not yet there. But I see in here again elements of exposure and popularity, and this is like the raw you, like um, the unfiltered almost like aspect. So it's like not um, driving yourself like and showing yourself in the best way possible, you know. It's like your essence and your like, you know how I say, when something is being made by a human and not a machine necessarily, not to discriminate against the machines in here, like that's kind of funny, but okay. Um, I've seen sweaters being knitted by hand, and they have like something very human to them or very intricate again. And again, the difference in here. Very intricate pile, very intricate person, very expressive and unique expression for pile number 3. Now let's go for, in the reading we will cover the colleagues at work. Y'all, I feel like this is completely a different story for pile number 3 for some reason. It's like almost as if the subdivisions or the actual, yeah, subdivisions sections for the main topic are actually not quite applicable for you, but you landed here, so it's for a reason. Let's go for it. Within the circle of your colleagues, you have in here some people interested in you. You have some people concealing themselves and not wanting to fully admit the fact that you attract a lot of attention. But you definitely either have two or one in particular person who's like, I want them to be mine, but for some reason I can't. What's going on? Yeah, frustration. Frustration. Someone really likes you in here, but it's a mix of love and frustration at the same time, for almost like something they don't have but they would rather have, or something in you represents something of an ideal that they do have in mind when it comes to having a partner. And there is a lot of, let's say, secretive and not very outspoken people in here from the colleagues, but they don't want to mess with you. That's the feeling I get from these cards for some reason. Let's see what else we have. The Hanged Man, okay. 1 second. The Tower. And the Star in reverse. Yeah, you have some colleagues in here. I would be careful in a way. I mean, it's not a big deal, but still. You have people genuinely scared about you taking their position, or you have in here people scared also for the attention and the intrigue that you spark. People talk about you and it's bothering them in a way. It's as if they are being challenged in the authority aspect or in who they are. Anyway, it's like you have in here some people threatened by some element of your presence or your expression in this case. So I would be careful like with how much I share, I suppose, with people, because in the colleagues section we have some, let's say, defined characters, but unfortunately I cannot drive necessarily the reading into a very positive direction. So it makes me feel like you should be overall warned about the fact that being so like naturally acclimatized to being in the spotlight carries some sort of consequences for the people around you as well. We have Tower twice in the reading and King of Wands. Someone is really watching you. Like this is, and again, I was saying not in vain. I said two people. Like you have a King of Wands and the King of Cups. The King of Wands in here shows me that there is a determined person, so it could be the case that they are trying or they will try to actually pursue you in a very, let's say, direct and explosive way. I don't know if you're gonna really like it, but we have Tower twice in the reading. You cause some stir up of emotions in some sort of group of people, and it's making them unsure about themselves. It's as if you trigger some sort of insecurity in people, okay? The colleagues in here are not very personal, are not very, let's say, we've had the instance where there were some people worthy of your notice, but the overall energies in here are of people who are like established almost like an authority, or they want to be like this, to be seen in this way, and your presence disturbs that image or that energy, and it's a bit almost disheartening to them. It's making them feel really bitter, okay? Like, why is this person occupying so much space? Why they're so adept and so free in their attracting a lot of attention. Like really, you have some very envious people of like they think we have some people who invest a lot in the idea of hard work and having to really benefit from something, but prior to that you really have to prove yourself endlessly, where you come from a more like I'm confident in my work type of energy, and it's really threatening. It's really threatening. It's making them feel as though they have worked in vain. It's making me feel very strange. Like, I want to say, there are people in here who, no matter what you're going to do, they're going to be mad at you. So don't even try to actually dim your light for them. And regardless of, like, do the right thing. Don't expect or wait on somebody else's reaction. I'm always going to be an advocate for ecological and honorable actions that are not meant to upset or walk on others. And this is no reminder or something for, I'm just like stating my stance in here. But I want to say in here, regardless of your best intentions, there will be people in here who will see you as a threat and therefore will treat you in some very strange ways. But your essence is never gonna be shaken or questioned. It feels to me like the actual setbacks are going to be very temporary and quite shameful. It's like, we haven't hear people trying to set up almost like a trap or almost a sort of mechanism to undermine you, and literally the other day you have a promotion or you have a compliment from people or from a group of people literally stating the opposite, and you knowing that it's true. Like I know because I've invested myself in it. Like I know because I've been there and I was trying my best. The attempts to really mess with you are going to be quite laughable because they will not have something very tangible attached to them, only a reaction or only an upset that's going to be fizzling out in a very swift and fast way for them. Yo, this is so funny. Like, I want to say, for the fact that you do attract a lot of attention, it's a good and bad thing as well, but it does remind me of the saying that if you have enemies, then it means that you are really doing the right thing. So that's literally gonna be the case for you as an advice or as a phrase, sentence, like to remind yourself of in the reading. Okay, now that we've covered the work environment, like sometimes I'm questioning for some piles, like some energies from individual piles are really not meant to be directed in some categories, and I'm like literally feeling like this could be the case. And I'm like, what am I thinking? What was I thinking when I was creating those subdivisions? But yeah. Boss. This is gonna be quite interesting. This is upper management, a superior, a person with a supervisor, someone of a higher rank than you, or stuff like that. Um, we will delve into their attitude, what they think about you, and their general energy that's being displayed or that's emanating from them towards you. Okay, y'all, I should be really careful with this one. This is interesting. We have in here almost like a very stern. It could be a female, by the way, for most of you. It doesn't have to be, but this is a very stern and very almost unforgiving person, but someone who really, when they see value, they recognize it for what it is. But it's a very challenging, authoritative, almost like person in here. Someone who would throw trials and would test you, okay? Seems to me like they have an overall positive attitude towards you, and yeah, Ace of Cups. This is quite fascinating. It makes me feel like these are some secret cases of like appreciation and recognition for you that you don't have to know of, because we have the Wheel of Fortune, the Hermit. Overall very secretive, I want to say, but the attitude is very honorable because we have the Knight of Pentacles. This makes me feel like the person is usually very, very stern and unforgiving. in some cases very almost like ruthless. With you, however, they have a very attentive and appreciative but in secret type of attitude, because we have this Ace of Cups with Kaya, and I want to say it does make me um it makes me recall the character being a bit secretive or giving mixed messages. This person could be behaving in very cold or not very clear ways, or almost like cruel ways, you would say. But for you, they have a soft spot. Wheel of Fortune, Hermit, and you won't be expecting this. Like, you don't expect, or you don't see how much they actually see and appreciate you. Like, unexpected truths about that. But even them, they are afraid or even like hesitant to admit like too much. Like, I don't want to let my appreciation or sympathy really mess with my rules, or mess with, like, I don't want to be impartial because of it. Overall, I want to say it's a very good one and a promising attitude, though it's a stern one, I will give you that. Okay. We also have the Hanged Man, so things are not going to be clear. How you will spot this person, or how you're going to recognize and identify them, it's going to be the case with, I'm not sure. Like, I'm not sure what to think of them. I'm not sure what's their stance on me. They haven't given me a negative nor a positive, really, approach, but overall it feels to me like they are always busy. Eight of Pentacles as well. It makes me feel like this person deliberately hides and conceals the ways in which they um, or what kind of attitude they have towards you. So yeah, that's pretty interesting to have in the boss section. Um, Now, the work mechanics and dynamics is going to reveal something similar as well from the atmosphere of work, but dynamics and mechanics is going to talk about the relationship to work, how things are managed, how well you're appreciated, or how workers are appreciated, and overall the energy of what's going on here. Something else that I forgot to say about the boss thing, the Two of Wands makes me say that the person is reserved and always skeptical, or almost as if they want to show this to the world, because they don't want their workers to really have their noses up. But for you, they have a soft spot and they are ready to give more. It's making me feel like you are someone who is not gonna take more, but is also not gonna take less of or for who you are. And the person really understands that you are fair, and that's something that's really rare these days. But also they understand that they should be rewarding you accordingly. Overall, I want to say that things are not as bad. They are neutral, I want to say. With Temperance, there could be some sort of disturbances, or let's say spikes, or let's say, yeah, really disturbances in the workflow or in the mechanics and the dynamics of the work. But overall, it feels to me like the workspace is quite manageable with a Page of Pentacles and quite calm. With the Devil in reverse, I even want to say there is an element or fairness in here that I really rarely see, where it almost makes me feel like there are people or some person or some higher up who's thinking about the fairness of the whole thing and how things are working, and that everybody is happy, and the work-life balance like almost like is even or correct. um Seven of Cups in reverse, also Ten of Swords in reverse, and Death almost makes me feel like we have some concerned people for the employee well-being. That's so rare, I'm surprised. um Quite peculiar Knight of Swords, but there are spikes. I want to say there are spikes, and when the stress is high, some things could fly, like blow up and fly, you know. But overall, I want to say there is either person, people, circumstances that are orchestrated by people who try to maintain a more or less positive outlook on things and on the workflow and on the mechanics of things. So overall, I think this is very rare and not bad at all. I'm genuinely like questioning this because I rarely come across this. And overall, if your workspace is not like this, then maybe this is not necessarily like resonant with you individually. But to be honest with you, when I saw the Page of Pentacles and the Devil in reverse and the Seven of Pentacles in reverse, it's like hinting towards a very almost like integrity driven or honest assessment of the performance of a worker, which honestly I feel like this is something that's dying out and very rare, and it's gonna soon disappear if it exists at all. For some reason, I just wanted to rant out about this, but yeah, I did it. Eight of Swords. The only like let's say bad thing or negative thing in here could be the case that the work could be at times boring, or it could be the fact that it's either repetitive or the tasks are not necessarily given to the right people that would be like a proper fit. But aside from that, I feel like the rest it's really there. Like the rest of the information is quite accurate, and I hope it resonates in that way. Kind of strange. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I feel really hesitant to speak about the workflow and dynamics, mechanics of the work because it's just strange. Okay. Um. Let's go for the promotion, performance, career advancement. The chances are very high in here. Okay. The only thing that's The only thing that's strange is the devil in here being represented. Five of Wands in reverse, yeah. And the moon. I feel like the career path in here, either for you particularly, is going to be quite clear and very upfront, almost like honest. And it's gonna feel fair, okay? Though something about your career advancement again will carry some sort of element of dissatisfaction, or I want more, or I want to kind of explore a more like, let's say, individual or um, personal expression into the like entrepreneurs or people who are like artists. Like that's the feeling I got. We have Shenhe. I feel like Queen of Wands in reverse. Lisa with the Three of Wands in reverse. What? Yeah, Queen of Wands, Three of Wands, and Death. Eventually, there is promise in here for improvements and overall, let's say, career advancement and up leveling, but I feel like you are going to say I want more and you're going to further move on. Okay, the personal, let's say, let's go for also the performance or what. Okay, the High Priestess, the performance, the career advancement and promotion. Yeah, we have the High Priestess. I feel like this is a funny message. Someone there, like in the higher ups, really sees you and says, like, we're gonna place them high. So that's pretty much the story of it. Though I'm not sure if you're going to go for it, okay? Pretty much, yeah. That's the High Priestess is like there is a secret in here about your evolution that has a layered, or let's say it's like a secret information, but for you it's not really a secret. Like they see you as promotion material, or it's like that when the company or the workspace or the bosses look at you and say like this person deserves to be placed in higher positions because of the ways in which they manage the work. But in here, it's like for you, it's not a surprise. It's a very rare thing that happens almost like in this particular workspace or something. But for you, because you have a very high expectation of yourself and almost like a dream, you're going to say, yeah, thanks, but I have greater things ahead of me. Um, Six of Pentacles in reverse. It makes me feel like you're going to reject it in the favor of something greater for yourself. Okay. Coming back to the general message, because I seem to be I seem to have exhausted the subcategories. We have the magician. That makes me say you're not gonna stay at this place forever and that you will go for something greater. If this message doesn't resonate with you and you feel content at your workspace and you see yourself in the future working here, it's a reason to think that this is not for you as a message. If anything, also, if you see yourself really high, or if you see yourself advancing and evolving in this workspace, it's a huge sign that it's gonna happen. But for the people who feel the dissatisfaction and the call for something other, something different, it's gonna happen, but it will not happen right away. And it will happen in gradual steps and in unexpected turns of events and changes. Okay. Oh, and finally, we have the third person in here who has feelings. This is interesting because the quality of the person in here feels like it's the most respectable. The love in here is not, because this is King of Pentacles, the love in here is not really extroverted, fiery. It's very quiet, it's very calculated, it's very much so coming from a space of appreciation and almost like first, like a career or description of sorts that's coming from a more professional profile, like a more, let's say, pragmatic approach in their feelings. They are there, but this person is like watching from the shadows, a very secretive person, I do want to say. The description of the person is going to be a diplomat, someone who's quiet, calculated, and slow but steady type of person, someone who doesn't show or reveal the truth or everything that they truly think. Quiet, very, let's say, to themselves, and you don't understand what the person thinks, you don't understand what's their stance on things and what they really think about you. Like when you will think about the person, you'll think that this person is here for work and they haven't shown anything actually, you know. Actually, this person does have feelings. Okay. As an encouragement for this reading, it's a huge one on the element of believe and place deliberate value on yourself and what you do, and try to see the differences. I'm not really liking the idea of comparing yourself to the people, but sometimes when you see the contrasts from you and from the general demographic or from a particular line or particular group of people, you can really define some very basic or some very straightforward facts about you. For example, I can do that with the cards or with the general activity that I am leading. I have observed that, for example, I have a concern for psychology and for a deep dive into things, something that, for example, people don't usually do, or not everybody's that interested in the depth of the things. So already you have a fact or a defining element that I do have and others have it, but in other like spectrum or in other intensities. Same thing about you. Something about it being a useful exercise in exploring and understanding who you are and where is your best fit is going to be like an eye-opening situation or thing, because I feel like this pile needs almost like a counseling, or not a counseling, but it's actually coaching, I was trying to say, because you need like an expert or a person with a huge experience behind their back to really give you a proper assessment. I see a lot of confusion when it comes to your um, reflection. It's like you're not necessarily properly reflected, or you're not encountering the people who are capable of giving you the proper mirroring. So you need a person, or you need somebody who is going to be very experienced and able to properly name your strengths and to properly mirror you, because you have a lot of qualities that are worth um, pursuing, evolving, and working through in such a way that you are like giving it to the world, and the world gives you that appreciation and recognition that you so deeply crave. We have the Six of Wands in here, so that's like a natural born either leader or both, also a person who is deserving and needs to be exposed out there in the world. This is not a type of job that you are going to close yourself in to a tiny cubicle like workspace. I don't know if I said it correctly, but you got the idea. This is not an introverted, like I'm hiding away from people type of person. No, this is a deemable, like, deemable, oh my god. It's like a respectable, exposed to the world type of person who needs to be encouraged, who needs to be pushed into the idea of expressing themselves out there. That's what I'm seeing, and that's what I find. To be honest, like your work, it's not necessarily bad, but it does carry a mediocre aspect to it, where it's like, yeah, like what are you doing in this work? Like the question is like, and the people there could be also having that question, but not wanting to openly admit to like saying it because it would make you go away, or they would be like not interested in you going away, and therefore like stay where you're at with your opinions and ideas, but yeah, and with your overall qualities. But overall, I do not see you as very compatible with the work that you're doing. Yeah, it's like they are meant for more. Okay. I feel like pretty much that's all I wanted to cover in your reading. Every subdivision has been covered, subsection. That was the overall message. Thank you so much for watching. I'm very curious to know if this resonated for you, pile number 3. Make sure to confirm that in the comment section if you want. You can briefly just leave I don't know, a heart, and I will know that this is the case. Um, Make sure to check out the old videos on the channel as well. Leave a like, don't forget to do that. It really helps me out as well. Like commenting really helps out for the promotion or the pushing forward the video. Uh, but I think that's pretty much it. I'm hoping to hear from you in the future, and almost forgot, don't forget to, if you want to donate, of course, you can go for the link there in the description and the comment section, and I think that's all I wanted to say. I was testing out the actual waters in here with this topic and the subsections because I was thinking that maybe, defining the topic in a more structured or concrete way, and, maybe that would yield some nice results and some feedback from your side as well. So if you're interested in that, maybe it's a great idea to write it in the comment section. It's wonderfully appreciated. Thanks for watching, and I hope to hear from you in the future again. Yeah, take care, pile number 3. Bye.